Hello and greetings to all. I'm wearing the same thing that I was wearing in the previous video in part 1, and this is part 2. Now, I was still inspired. I was actually getting lunch ready, and I said, I still got some more to add to the previous video regarding the message of the eagle, and here it goes. Now, another thing about the message of the eagle is that due to the fact that the eagle teaches us to reach broader heights, reaching just far out there heights, pardon the lack of better words to express this, gives us more of a parameter, of a horizon, of a view. That way we are provided with a wider variety of opportunities. Now the eagle will be up there soaring, up all high and mighty, and it's going to be looking down, looking for an opportunity to strike. Now, for the eagle to actually descend, it really needs to study the situation. It's going to look at several creatures. It's going to be like, that warthog's a little too big. I'm really not in the mood to do all that wrestling, so let's keep on looking. That little possum's a little defenseless, and I could do a cheap fast food meal. However, due to the fact that it's gained so much through the heights that it's up on, it's really going to be very considerate of what is worth the descent. And that is the same question that is posed to us as human beings. Is something worth our descent? Throughout life, we are seeking to ascend naturally, hopefully, and if not, what the hell are you doing? We start working somewhere, we want to improve, we want to move up within the company. We go to school, we advance in grades, we go to college, we get our associates, bachelor's, master's, yada yada, and it's really not going back to that's the way we're programmed and this and that. No, the human spirit should by nature aspire elevation and ascension in whatever field that you pertain to. So that's another thing that the eagle is teaching us. If you're complacent, if you're in a place where you have reached a certain level of conformism where you're not growing, you're not expanding, you ought to challenge yourself into reaching newer heights and challenge yourself out of that comfort zone and see that more opportunities become available to you as you ascend and as you soar new heights. Now, if your vibration is low, and I don't want to sound new ager because many a TikTok glam queen is going to talk about vibration and manifestation and whatnot, but when your vibration is low, that means that your aspirations are low. Pretty much if you're down in there in the gutter, guess what? Your aspirations are down in there in the gutter because you're finding the filth. But once you start realizing that filth is not what you're, wanting to partake of throughout the rest of your life, that's when you start ascending. That's when you start evolving into the eagle that we are. I'm taking vocal lessons, and the vocal coach that I'm working with, I used to sing back in the day, but now with the years, I got to get the voice back in shape. And I shared with him the chorus, and I'm thinking of sharing with y'all, and seeing my indigenous engenderment, my peers. A lot of us sunk low in alcoholism and drug abuse, even in pot usage, because even though marijuana is not a drug, it does induce dependency. It reminds us of the mightiness of our ancestors and how they looked up to eagles, quetzales, and condors in aspirations of improving their otherwise lowly human nature. And the song is called Eagle in Flight. And I'll be alright, I'm an eagle in flight. There's no stopping me, I got my talons out and I'm ready to fight. There's no stopping me, look at my wingspan, I'm reaching new heights. There's no one stopping me. He actually liked the little chorus, and I'm working on developing the verses because I really want to empower our people through our own symbology. Not through the cross, not through a white man hanging on a cross, not through a bearded, woolly-haired man up in the sky who is also Caucasian and resembles Jesus, but through our own cosmology. An eagle can't save me. I don't worship an eagle, but I can embody an eagle through my aspiration and elevation. So remember, the higher up that we are, the higher that we're vibrating, the more elevated that we are, the more opportunities that are attainable to us because we're up there. When you're down in the gutter, you really can't see what's out there because you have limited your purview to the lowly level that you're in. So ascend, elevate, gain higher ground, new heights, take me higher, like the gospel song says. And more opportunities will be made available. And always ask yourself, once you're up there, is this really worth the descent? It took me 15 years to get to this corporate position. And that, nurse, that secretary in the little brown skirt is kind of looking kind of scrumptious. But is it worth the descent? Is it worth throwing away 20 years of marriage, 15 years of advancement within the company just for a little lowly, passion? It's really not worth the descent. So ask yourself constantly, just like the eagle does, I've reached new heights. Is it worth the descent?